Welcome to the Nostalgia Test Podcast, the show where two longtime friends put their mainstream pop culture past to the ultimate test, the Nostalgia Test.
I didn't realize how fucking long this movie is.
That is something we need to talk about, because this movie...
Yeah, let's introduce the episode.
Yeah, welcome everybody to another episode of the Nostalgia Test Podcast. I'm Dan Dissinger here in LA, and I'm here with my friend and co-host Manny Coelho there in New York. Manny, how are you doing?
What up, brah?
What up?
What's going on? Hot shot?
Yeah, brah. Hey, brah. This is perfect language for our episode today, which,
What's up, brah?
What's up, brah?
Did he say brah? Bro? Brah.
They said brah, bro, and brah.
Brah.
They...
Brah. What's up, brah?
Anyway. But yeah, I mean, it was, we have...
Well, first, okay, this episode is another movie episode.
Yes. Another movie episode, an amazing movie. I mean, probably, I am just, I'm overjoyed. I'm overjoyed about this episode. Today we're going to talk about the amazing action film, another Keanu Reeves film, the 1991 American action crime film, Point Break, which was directed by Catherine Bigelow and written by W. Peter Liff. It stars Patrick Swayze, Keanu Reeves, Lori Petty, and Gary Busey. Quite possibly one of the greatest casts of all time. And the film's title refers to the surfing term point break, where a wave breaks as it hits a point of land jutting out from the coastline. I mean,
Act. Star-studded film, Dan. They even had, I don't know if you noticed the cameo of the kid who plays John Connor.
Was that who he was?
T2.
Because I was trying to figure out who that kid was. We were looking at him. I was looking at him. It's like, this kid is somebody. There was also another great cameo.
That was him.
Anthony Kiedis from the Red Hot Chili Peppers, who, oddly enough, was playing a Nazi. That didn't make sense to me. But
was he a Nazi?
They said something about them being
That's
Nazis,
what he was.
Right? This is an unbelievable film. Point Break, I mean, budget $24 million, box office $83.5 million. An unbelievable hit. I mean, we could go into facts about the film and stuff like that, but I feel like because this film is just so unbelievably amazing, we have to just...
So you're not going to give us your Dan facts? Maybe while we're going, right?
I think
can we also mention the silent killer of the 1990s films, Lee Tergesen? Tergesen? Is that how you pronounce his name? Lee Tergesen?
Yeah.
Guy who plays Beecher in Oz. In this movie.
And he was in Wayne's World.
He's Rosie, the guy who puts a knife to the pitcher of peaches and threatens.
Yeah, the guy.
He has a couple lines in this movie. He has a lot of lines in this movie. This guy got paid. This guy silently made his way through the 90s, making paycheck after paycheck after paycheck, and not getting the crazy, superstar fans running around. This guy could go to lunch and not enjoy his lunch. He enjoyed his lunch, but yet he was making bank during the 90s. Okay.
This guy could go to lunch. Oh my god,
dude, he's good.
Oh my god, let me just say that fond memories of Point Break. I mean, I've seen this movie so many times. I've seen bits and pieces of this movie. Whenever it is around and on, I need to watch it. I don't necessarily remember the first time I've seen it, but it's almost like a movie that's always there, and that you always, for some reason, I feel like I always see. But I was never aware of how long this movie was for some reason.
Dude, I did not know how long this movie was until we had to finally watch it. Then until we decided to put it to the test, because I was like, yeah, it's gonna be like another 90-minute movie. Like that's that's what we've been kind of used to this whole time. And plus, that's like the attention span that anyone had or has. And all of a sudden, I'm like looking at the time because I put this on right before this, and I'm looking at the time, and it's like finishing time, 11:07 p.m. I'm like, what is going on in this movie? I thought like after the bank heist, like we were ready to go. No, this is skydiving. Like
there's another 45 minutes after that.
I know. It kept going. I'm like, we actually watched this guy have a whole surf lesson. There's like 2 movies or maybe even 3 movies in this movie.
There's about 3 movies in this film.
I almost thought at first, like when I remembered thinking about this movie, I thought it was like more comical, or maybe I thought it was comical because of I guess, I don't want to say because the acting, but yeah, because the acting and just like the lines in it and how ridiculous it is. But I was like, man, this movie like takes a turn. It's serious. It's long. It's drama. There's some love story in it. There's a little bit of comedy, like Gary Busey's Brucey. I can't even say his words. I'm mumbling. It's midnight over here. It's almost past midnight here. I'm tired.
Oh, that New York time.
That tree is far away. But dude, that guy's shirt is the most comical. And every scene, he's got a new flowered shirt, like he's in Hawaii, or he's about to go to like Hawaiian party or something. The guy's wear is insane.
First of all, Gary Busey's character's name is Angelo Pappas.
Angelo Pappas.
So is he supposed to be Greek? I don't know who this guy.
I don't know what he's supposed to be.
Angelo Pappas, Johnny Utah.
Johnny Utah, greatest action name. First of all, Johnny Utah sounds like what the FBI gave him as a cover.
Seriously, like
but that's not the case.
No,
the guy's name is actually Johnny Utah.
His name is Johnny Utah, and this genius uses his real name in an undercover assignment.
Well, I'll tell you, that's not really his fault, because as we see, somehow he runs into the one criminal surfer guru who follows college football and knows Johnny Utah.
But he does tell that girl his name's Johnny Utah.
Oh, yeah, when he's drowning.
Yeah.
Oh, when she saves her life. Yes,
I'm Johnny Utah. She's like, who cares?
Like, what? Who cares? I was like, she just said the line I wanted to say.
Yeah, but actually, everyone should care because he literally gave himself up. Like 20 minutes into the movie, he's just like, "My name's Johnny Utah." It's like, you idiot! Like,
first
you
of all,
weren't supposed to do that. Don't talk about anything. Don't do anything. You use your real name.
First of all, let's just say this guy was not washed up, but an injured college football player who didn't make it into the pros, ends up being a lawyer, goes to the FBI. The FBI should have done some background check on this guy and been like, he cannot go into undercover. Why? No. Because he's been seen by everybody, even surfing guru bank robbers. Okay? Because who the hell knows Johnny Utah? I can tell you, I don't know any college football stars.
No, not at all. But this is like if Tom Brady was like going undercover in the FBI. It's like this one is like, well, you're Tom Brady. It's like, oh yeah. And then he says, yeah, I'm Johnny Utah. It's like he totally is like, yeah, that's me. What?
Well, I mean, at that point he can't hide it, right? Like, he was playing football. He was all right, we haven't even. We just we went on our tangent again.
Back the truck up.
Rewind.
Beep, beep.
Read the fuck around, because I want to go open credits, because I like the title cards.
Go.
I love title cards.
Go.
It gets you right into the movie. Like, what is this thing gonna be? First of all, surfing, first shot, waves, this crazy title thing. Patrick Swayze, Keanu Reeves. Right in front of your face. This is what the movie is. Who cares what the movie is called? The first title card has both of their names on it.
I'm sold.
Okay. I'm sold.
Right there.
It could just be called Keanu Reeves Patrick Swayze. It didn't have to say anything else.
Yeah, you're telling me I'm about to watch a movie with Keanu Reeves and Patrick Swayze in the same film, and it's surfing, I'm done. You don't care what else is
It's
about to
good.
happen.
Good to go. And
Yeah, good to go.
let's go also talk about the cutscene. And it's Keanu Reeves sitting on a car, chewing gum, like took a stick of gum out, like Doublemint gum, okay? And it's raining. It's pouring rain. And he turns around. He looks at the camera, turns around, cocks
Loads
that
of
fucking
shotgun.
shotgun. One hand.
Oh my god!
First of
What is
all,
he, the
you fail your
Terminator?
test right there, Johnny
Yeah.
Utah. That's the two-handed job. That's like trying to catch a ball without using the alligator catch. Okay, you lose right there. Okay, you're still in training. First of all, why is he training in the rain on top of? Where's that car in the training facility?
Bro,
Why is there a pit? Why is he there? Why does he have gum? Why does he need to chew gum first?
I was
What is
so
that
confused.
scene that we were watching?
It was
Slow
like-
motion gum eating, Johnny. Slow motion, Johnny.
It's a slow-mo Johnny.
Pulls the gum out in slow motion.
I'm bewildered by. First of all, I love the opening credit scene. It's beautiful. It is beautifully
amazing.
shot. All the surfing scenes, every single surfing scene in this movie was just amazing. And I love that the movie title isn't trying to overtake anything. It's clear. It's just like Point Break, but just don't forget awesome ocean shots right behind it. And then we're going to splice Keanu Reeves blasting these cardboard cutouts of criminals like he's in Disney World, but he is ravaging them. Now, I don't know what training is supposed to be like in the FBI or the police, but it seems like that their training is shoot everything in sight.
Yes.
How many bullets? He's just like, it's like,
bro, that's so true because later on, like that's what you see. They just shoot without anything. There's no
jump
like,
ahead.
oh,
he jumps out of his car at the end and just opens fire in the middle of the public, in the middle of an intersection. He's just like,
that's
boom,
what I'm saying.
boom. I'm like,
they just shoot without even the criminal shooting them. They just shoot. Like there's no in this movie. FBI shoots first.
Oh, totally. They shoot first. They don't.
Not every time.
No sirens. No sirens in the car. It would just be like if I was a pedestrian on the street, like, there's a bunch of maniacs driving and shooting. I'd have to call the cops.
It's a terrible job
of
the FBI. It makes the FBI look really bad.
Oh, totally.
DEA was really pissed off at the FBI.
First of all, he's the worst FBI agent on the planet, and we'll get into that.
First of all,
he's already horrible.
So, I mean, apparently he like finished top of class,
Mm-hmm.
right? He has an appointment at the office, but yet all of a sudden it's like day one. I'm like, wait, there was an appointment. Like he walks into the office, the FBI office, and they go, he's like, I'm here for my appointment. Next cut is the director saying like, day one, you know nothing, nothing, blah, 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 nothing. I'm going to say things and blah, 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 nothing.
The guy from Scrubs.
Nothing. The guy from Scrubs.
He's always playing the guy from Scrubs. I feel like after that, he's like, well, I'm quitting the FBI. I'm going to become a doctor. It's just like, holds on to that set.
Is it me, or is just in the 90s so far, everybody just plays a version of themselves? They're basically themselves, but they're supposed to be something else. But they're just themselves. And everybody loves it. Like, everybody accepts that. There's not only, there's certain actors that actually have a crazy amount of range. But everyone else is kind of like, oh yeah, it's cool. It's Keanu Reeves as a surfer action dude.
Yeah.
It's Keanu Reeves as a stoner high school dude. It's Keanu Reeves as some sort of computer
program?
Program guy. I don't know. Cool.
But you know what? I love it. I don't care.
Oh, I love it.
I'm
down
Keanu
with it.
Reeves is, I don't care what anyone says. I think Keanu Reeves is one of the more underrated actors of our time. I don't care.
I think he got better, Dan.
Great.
I think he got better.
He got better, but you
definitely got better.
They were going to try to get Charlie Sheen in that part. They also,
you know, I was going to ask you that.
Yeah.
This is why I wanted to know the facts because I was like, who else was up for this movie?
Oh, dude, One person that I know definitely, and I'm gonna tell you, and then I'm gonna get the other one so that you could just think about this. The other person that was up for this part that they wanted was Matthew Broderick. Can you imagine that shit?
Ferris?
Yeah, Ferris Bueller,
Ferris.
Matthew Broderick. I cannot imagine Matthew Broderick
No.
being this character. That would be terrible. That would be probably one of the worst things that I've
No.
ever seen.
Can't be in action. That would have been like good for like if you really wanted to make a movie that laughed at itself. Like this movie actually took itself seriously.
Oh yeah.
And like I did suspend my disbelief of what was going on because this movie, if you really want to think about it,
Hmm.
couldn't happen. It would have been over. And actually, there was some real parts to it. But you're like, what is this movie about? Surfing, skydiving? I don't know what the fuck happened. Shit got serious at one point. I think what's his name? Patrick Swayze. Brody plays a sociopath who just loses his fucking brain and like loses everything, and he's really just jealous that she's not in love with him and like that she fell in love with Johnny Utah.
Oh
But
yeah.
either way, this movie could not have been played by Broadway. No way.
Oh my God. Okay, here we go. Ready? From IMDb. Matthew Broderick was originally offered the role of Johnny Utah. Others who auditioned: Johnny Depp, Charlie Sheen, and Willem Dafoe, and Val Kilmer.
Hmm.
Now, okay, Willem Dafoe out already. There's no way that I can imagine him being the hero of this film. He looks like a villain
Willem Dafoe only should play villains.
all the time. He should just play villains. There's no. I mean, think of it. Remember he was in Boondock Saints and he was the police officer.
Yeah.
Can you imagine
Oh,
that
he
guy
was
as?
awesome in that.
Can you
He was
imagine him as Johnny
awesome.
Utah?
No,
It would be terrible. Johnny Depp,
maybe Johnny Depp in that time because he was like 21 Jump Street then. I don't know.
91. Yeah, I mean 1991 Johnny Depp, yeah. But I'm not having Charlie Sheen. There's no I don't know. That kind of bothers me because like let's see 1991 he had already done 21 Jump Street from 1987 to 1990. So I mean, and he was in Platoon in 1986, Johnny Depp. And so then in 1990 he did Edward Scissorhands. So then he would have went from Edward Scissorhands to Point Break.
I
I
think
don't
it would
know.
have been a whole different movie.
Yeah, it would have been
Like
like
he
he would
would
have
have
been
played a
really weird.
super. He would have played a super. I can't even speak. A surfer dude, but I don't think he would have played the dude that every once in a while Keanu Reeves jumps into. Like
Yeah.
Keanu comes in and out of his bra. Like his bro comes in and out the whole movie.
Yeah, and
There's
he's
not
funny.
consistency at all
No.
with his bro. Sometimes he acts really dumb and like is trying to play some California surfer dude, I guess. Like Michelangelo, but like older and more stoned.
Yeah.
Or he's kind of just like Johnny Utah from Ohio. Where's he from?
Yeah, he's from Ohio, which I don't believe that at all because he has an accent that makes him from the valley, basically, in California. No one from Ohio sounds like that. So he's already, like, I feel like having lived in California his whole life, and then he says, I'm from Ohio. I'm like, that doesn't make sense. But,
Meta, bro.
it's
Meta.
better, bro. I don't know. It would have been a totally different movie if it was any of the other guys. And Matthew Broderick is not pulling this off. If I saw Matthew Broderick on a surfboard and he was during that montage scene, which I love that montage scene, he would have been. I feel like there would have been like a sound effect when like slipping on a banana sound effect if he fell off the surfboard. That's what I'm thinking is going to happen if like Matthew Broderick is in this, and he'd be speaking straight to the camera. Keanu Reeves is perfect, I think, for this part because he and like Patrick Swayze are having this like undercover love story during this movie. I mean, truly, I believe this is a love story between Keanu Reeves and Patrick Swayze most of the time during this film.
Oh, it's totally. That's a
Yeah,
bra. That's his bra.
that's his bra, like bra.
It's holding his chest up, his bra. But like,
Uh,
yeah, it's definitely a love story. They're basically best friends, soulmates. You
yeah.
know, Brody's like infatuated with Johnny,
Oh,
and
totally.
you know, and wants to change him the whole
Hmm.
time. I will say one thing I hate about this movie is the soundtrack.
It's There's no soundtrack.
It's a terrible soundtrack. There's
Yeah.
nothing great about it. They could have done a lot better. That if I went back in time and I was like, we're gonna keep this movie, or I would change the soundtrack. They need a better soundtrack. They need to like whoever did Cocktail needs to re-edit this movie.
Could you imagine this movie with Cocktail soundtrack? It would have just been crazy. But you're right. The
It
soundtrack
was
was almost
terrible.
non-existent. I was when I was listening to it,
No,
it was like,
it was non-existence, but you would figure that it was a little better. Like there was nothing. There was no
no,
memorable, like even the montage.
horrible.
There was not much to it.
I mean, at this point, you've had amazing
You know,
montages from, you know, from Rocky, a few Rocky movies already and everything. The 80s, all the montages from the 80s. I mean, how can you even have a movie that is a surfing movie? You have Anthony Kiedis is in the film. You couldn't get a Red Hot Chili Pepper song? Like, how is that possible? This soundtrack was trash. But if it wasn't for, I think, like Catherine Bigelow's amazing directing, this movie would have fell apart. Her directing for this film was great. I mean, and you could tell how much of her vision for this film was just in there, and the care she took with every shot that was surfing or skydiving, and it was just everything. I was really impressed. It was like I thought she did an amazing job. But can I just say one of my favorite lines of this movie? One of my
oh,
favorite
please tell
lines.
me it's the one I love.
So he comes into the office for the first time, right? Keanu Reeves
Oh,
getting
it's
that
gonna be
tour.
mine. It's gonna be my favorite one too.
He's getting that
I'm gonna
tour.
put this up when you say it. Go.
He's getting that tour. He's getting the amazing tour. He's been asked already about his diet, and he goes, "I take the skin off chicken." And then like, and then he picks up a donut and eats it. And the doctor from Scrubs looks at him and he starts laughing. He's like, "You're a real blue flame special, son. Young, dumb, and full of cum."
Bro, it was one of my best lines.
I
I wrote
paused the
that down.
movie immediately and I was like, I gotta write that down.
I wrote. I was like, did he just say he was young, dumb, and full of gum?
I mean, that, I mean, come on. And then he goes, I guess we just have an asshole shortage. And he walks away and Keanu Reeves like, what'd he say? He goes,
He says, not yet, or something like
says,
that. Something like,
something
oh,
like, I don't think so, or some bullshit like that. Like,
it
oh my
was, it was
God.
funny. Dude, the quick sayings in the beginning of like old versus young
Oh,
was like so funny. Like,
yeah.
there, he's like, first of all, what's his name uses hot shot all the time. It's like, all right, hot shot. It's like, all
Gary
right, there,
Busey.
miss. Yeah, Gary Busey's like, all right, hotshot. I'm like, wow, whoever wrote this must have wrote Speed after this in 1994 because
Oh.
like one was like pop quiz hotshot, like so like they're like, oh, it works. You call Keanu Reeves hotshot, and we have a good movie in our hands. And like, when they're in the car, and he's like, all right, there, Mister Wizard. Did
Oh
you
my
find Jimmy Hoffa? I'm like, Mister Wizard. Like, there was so many references to what was going on around that time.
Oh
Like
yeah.
they're like, oh, stop watching MTV when they were trying to like look
Yeah.
at the videos and stuff.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
it
Yeah.
was amazing.
Another great line was after the bank robbery happens. It was like a bank robbery, and they go to look at the getaway car or something. Uh, okay, he goes, hold on. Gary Busey is talking to him on top of Mulholland Drive, and he's talking about L.A. He's like, yeah, this city really changed. The air got dirty and the sex got clean. What? Okay.
That all seems so fucked up because he's like yelling at him about being like, "Do you feel that? Are you
Yeah.
angry?"
Oh my God. That was one of the best scenes ever. He's like, "You angry? That feels good, right? Yeah." It's like, "Oh, let's go do that." Next scene, they're staring at a TV screen at a guy's ass. And they're drinking a beer and they keep rewinding it to the guy's ass. I'm like, what is happening?
First of all, if you watch that whole scene, Corona is like placed everywhere. So
Oh my
that was
God.
like a big like, oh, okay, so surfing beach, let's get this Corona, right?
Yeah.
There's beer bottles everywhere in that office. So I'm like, all right, so they're basically just saying that these guys are just getting drunk. Gary is drinking straight out of the fucking Jack Daniels
I'm
bottle.
so glad you saw that because I saw that. I was like, all right, so they're having a couple beers, whatever. It's after hours. They're looking at this guy's ass. And then Gary Busey pulls a gigantic bottle of Jack Daniels out of, I don't know, nowhere and just swings it. And I'm like, wait a second. Like, where did that come from? You just took it up a notch. Like, it's okay to have maybe a beer while you guys are maybe hashing out the details of something, but you really just took it to a whole other level. And Gary Busey, I mean, is unhinged in this film.
Unhinged, and then somehow those two who just kind of met that day or the day before, I don't know how long they've been together, are both connect, and they're like, ex-presidents are surfers. Gary Busey jumps on a desk as if he was a surfer before,
presumably drunk. He's got to be wasted.
And they're just by themselves.
Yeah.
Surfing.
Yeah.
Pretending to surf.
Where's the rest of the FBI?
Don't know. Because they're all like the laughing stock. Like, they're like, oh, let's just give them this thing.
Oh,
why are you giving these guys like one of them, like the most? First of all, they're like, it's the bank robbery capital of the world.
Yeah.
And it had gone up from the year before.
Yeah, what did he say? There were 13,000 bank robberies and they caught 1,000 of them?
I'm like, you're not really doing a good job if it goes up.
Yeah, no one's doing a good job.
It's not really anything to brag about.
Hey, keep that to yourself, bro. Keep that to yourself.
Young, dumb, and full of cum.
But there's another line when Gary Busey's trying to explain to him about how he thinks that they're surfers, and he goes to them, he goes, and then they vanish like a virgin on prom night.
Dude, there's all these weird sayings in that movie.
First of all, the writer of this film was only given $6,000 to write this film.
That's it?
Yeah. After this, he wrote the screenplay for Patriot Games right after this, like the year after. He wrote the screenplay for Patriot Games. He then did Tales from the Crypt. He did an episode of Tales from the Crypt. He did Varsity Blues, the movie, then the TV series, it looks like. He also...
Did he do Fast and the Furious too? Because this movie is basically Fast and the Furious.
It doesn't look like that. I'm only seeing 13 writing credits.
Because I'm just going to tell you, after watching this whole movie, I'm going to say it now. I was going to wait until the end of this episode to say it. Fast and Furious took a photocopy of this film and made it. Oh, I'm talking scene by scene, like scenario of scenario of scenario. Mm-hmm. When they go to the party, when he orders the sandwich from the sister, when he goes to the beach bar and orders the fries and whatever, and asks her to take lessons. God
damn it, that's right.
All of it is the same. When they go to the wrong house at first, they arrest the wrong people. Like, it just gets going on and on. Even at the end.
That's right.
Dude, Fast and the Furious it's the reboot and remake of Point Break. That it should be called Point Break 2. Because the one that actually got remade and they call Point Break is fucking trash. Shouldn't have been called it. I'm ashamed that I even wasted time watching it. It was crap. Okay. They were just like, oh man, let's do skydiving movie and like extreme. No, you just wanted to advertise squirrel diving. No, it was stupid.
Dude,
have you seen it? Because it's crap.
I refuse. When I saw that,
another thing too.
Like, no way.
Another thing too is that if you're gonna remake a movie that was this good, like to me, this was really good, and you had like there were B actors that were in this, like Keanu and Patrick Swayze had just come out of like some huge movies.
Yeah,
right?
Absolutely.
Like Dirty Dancing was before this.
Yes, it was, I believe. It had to be, yeah, absolutely.
So was Bill and Ted's.
Bill and Ted was Bill before that.
Yeah,
Bill and Ted
so
was
like
in the 80s.
These weren't little fucking names that were doing this movie. So if you're gonna remake Point Break, the new one was with nobody. And I'm sorry, guys, if you like those actors, where are they now? Okay, we don't know who they are.
Right.
Okay,
exactly.
It should have been with people we knew. You know.
Yeah.
I don't know. Yeah. Put Zac Efron in it. I don't know, but it wasn't with anybody that was Actually, Zac Efron probably would have been all right. They should have done one where it was Keanu Reeves plays the older guy, and like Zac Efron plays the surfer. I don't know.
Yeah, and Lori Petty, she was in a ton of stuff before Point Break. And
what happened to her? She was
she
good.
does a ton
I
of
liked
things
her.
now. I looked her up. She was in Orange is the New Black. She's been in 24 episodes or so, or actually more than that, I think. But she's been in Orange is the New Black. She does a lot of voice work. She's been working. She's awesome. She was in House for a few episodes. She was in like 3 episodes of House. But before that, she was in a show which I saw a few episodes of and still cannot find it anywhere. Alien Nation. And
oh wow,
that show was crazy weird. I mean, so like you're talking about, like you said, these are good actors. These are capable actors. And right after that, Lori Petty was in A League of Their Own in 1995. She was in Tank Girl.
fucking amazing movie.
Yes, 1993. She was in Free Willy. I mean, she's
Free Willy.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, she was the trainer.
That's right. That's right.
Oh,
dude, she's a phenomenal actress. But also, I just also want to say, I'm not sure what type of like attitude people have about Patrick Swayze, but Patrick Swayze, it was amazing in this film, and he's always good. I love Patrick Swayze. I think he's an amazing actor.
I will have to say that Patrick Swayze, probably, if you had to compare, did a phenomenal job over Keanu Reeves. Keanu Reeves was good, but Patrick Swayze played his part.
Oh,
dude, the man could do karate.
Yeah.
The man could say some Zen bullshit. The man lost his mind.
Yeah.
Got selfish.
Yeah.
Had some great lines behind that president's mask. I mean, he was good.
And he did some of that skydiving. Because when they jumped out of the plane, they were close-ups of his face. They were like, you could see his face. And I'm like, that's Patrick Swayze doing that backflip, or Patrick Swayze doing all that. I mean, and I
guarantee you they put that scene in there because Patrick Swayze was like skydiving at the time, and he was like, yo, let's do skydiving. They're like, what? I'm like, yo, I've been doing skydiving. Let's do skydiving.
Yeah, he did some of the surfing. He broke a few ribs during this film. So like Patrick Swayze is hardcore.
I wonder, I was thinking, there's the scene where he connects for Brody when they're fighting the Red Hot Chili Peppers guy.
Oh, yeah.
Brody's got his shirt off. He's about to fight.
Yeah.
And then you got Keanu is wearing a t-shirt, like a rash guard underneath his his.
No. Wetsuit? He was wearing his wetsuit, wasn't he?
His wetsuit was zippered down, at his waist, but he was also wearing a rash guard. Now I'm like, all right, I understand he's a first time surfer, but dude must have been sweating because you wear rash guard and a 3 mil.
That's a lot. I
mean, that's a lot. You got Brody's wearing a t-shirt, the short one. So is what's her name, and you got Johnny Utah over here freezing. He's got a rash guard and a 3 mil. I was like, there must have been something in the contract that was if Patrick Swayze is in a scene with somebody, nobody else could have their shirt off. Because the whole time I was like, maybe that Keanu didn't want to show his chest.
Yeah, but then
I don't know why. I don't know why I was thinking about this. Dan,
but he had his shirt off when he was laying in bed, all contemplative.
That's why I was like, oh yeah, the next scene is when he finally has sex with what's her name. He's laying in bed with his armpit showing. I was like, oh, so it might have been a whole thing with Patrick Swayze. Yeah, I'm gonna be the one that has my chest out on.
I think he just had to be. I don't know, maybe. But Keanu Reeves also looked very pale, so maybe it was because they were like, all right, we're just gonna. You don't look like you've been in the sun at all, so.
You look like we're filming Powder. Wait,
oh my god!
That movie doesn't come out for another couple of years, so we need to put a shirt over you. Yeah. So okay, so we haven't even talked about the plot of this movie.
Can I just say one thing before you? Oh no, go ahead. It's okay. Go through the plot. I have nothing.
No, say it. Go ahead, say it because I gotta get a glass of water.
is super creepy in this movie when he's watching Lori Petty change in the parking lot. Like, come on, bro. Like, what are you doing? I know you're trying to be like, is this gonna be the person my in? But like, she's changing. Like, and then like he's like, oh, look at her, take her. Like, don't watch her. Like, just go. All right, this is gonna be the girl. Drive away. Like, get her license plate and drive away. Like, What is going on here? But
So I was
he
thinking
was
the same
wearing
thing,
something
but
crazy.
they needed to put like a sexual, they needed to put a scene like that in there. But I felt a little weird because they POV'd it. There's a lot
That
of
was weird.
POV in it. There was a lot of POV in this movie.
Yeah,
And I was like, was it the first time they were trying it? Because there was like, even in the chase scenes and stuff, I was like, damn, there's a lot
yeah,
of POV. Like when he goes into Brody's house for the party,
yeah,
like we walk in
yeah.
and like see that, like the people are like,
That was the
what?
craziest party. I'm sitting there. I'm like, is there gonna be a vampire in this party? I was
Yeah,
waiting.
it's like, are we watching Dust Till Dawn right now?
Yeah, it
Like,
looked like a scene from Blade, like that opening scene from Blade.
yeah,
I was
yeah,
where the guy from the Shield was like in there all of a sudden, like.
yeah. I was like, what the hell? So that scene was weird. And what was she wearing? And then she
I
wore
don't
that
know.
the next scene. So I'm like, does she change her shirt? Is that a costume? Is that like her uniform that she has to wear? Is that a uniform she has to wear?
She's also
Because she was
wearing,
wearing it.
yeah, she's also not wearing underwear. She put her shorts on. She didn't zip or button them. She jumped in her car.
That's right. She wasn't wearing underwear and they were dirty shorts.
Dirty shorts.
Unfortunately.
She literally just threw them on,
And she
didn't
has a
zip them
very
up.
dusty car.
She hopped in her car. And I'm like,
Her dusty car.
yeah, with the top down. So there's dirt everywhere. But yeah, I mean, okay, so we should try to like surmise the plot of this film somehow.
I don't know what. So I thought it was just crazy. First of all, so I guess the plot is FBI agent assigned to bank robbery, also assigned to a guy who's like, the old dude, maybe waiting to like retire soon or a kind of a laughing stock. So, AKA Lethal Weapon.
Right. Yeah. Yeah.
The crazy, so like that kind of buddy comedy, but more of a drama. Like this is a straight up action film. This wasn't. There was some comedy in it, but I wouldn't call it comedy at all. This was like action. This
Yeah.
was the '90s action film,
This was a
like
pure action film.
suspenseful action film, and they just so happen to be surfers.
Yeah.
So there's a half hour of us just learning about surfing. This movie made me want to be a surfer. I'll tell you
Dude,
that.
this movie made me want to, yeah, drop everything and just learn to surf and I guess just live on the beach. Well, not
Dude,
now,
the
but
scene with John Connor,
yeah.
I should say the guy's name, I guess.
I'll look it up.
That's on you. Facts, guy.
Yeah.
First of all, I guess this guy is working behind in the surf shop when he's 12 because he looks like he's 12, and I guess there was no labor laws then, because he's in the scene and he's selling this guy his surfboard, and he doesnn look like a working age. The kid looks like he's 12 years old. They just needed to give this guy a line because he's like, "Surfing's the source, bro. Surfing's the source, bro." Like they just gave him that line. Like none of that means anything. But
I don't know if it was the kid from Terminator 2.
who was it? Who
Because
was
the
he?
kid from Terminator 2 came out in 1991, and this movie came out in 1991. So it couldn't have been him. I don't know who that
Sure.
was. He's somebody. Yeah, I'm sure. I'm looking at it right now, 1991. So maybe I'm gonna try to look for him. But you're right.
Dude, this is him. His name is Christopher Petty. Oh,
There he
you know
is.
what? You know what? No, he looked. Oh, where's this guy been in? He's been in this
Don't
other
tell the
movie that I
mom. Don't
know.
tell mom the babysitter's dead. She's
That's
in
what
that.
it is.
There we
All right,
go.
so he wasn't John Connor. He was the fucking guy who buys the diamond ring for this girl with the petty cash. And don't tell mom the babysitter's dead.
Wow, that was a long road to get to that kid's like don't tell mom the babysitter's dead. I think that was in 1991 too.
Dude, that guy was a little popular then. That haircut did it all.
Yeah, yeah.
But yo, he definitely was not of age to work behind a surfboard.
No, no, he was not of age, and unfortunately, that actor did pass away. So rest in peace to that actor. He was really good in that, and he was good in Don't Tell Mom the Babysitter's Dead. You know,
Rest in peace.
yes, yeah, and Patrick Swayze too. I mean, that's the thing. Like when I see Patrick Swayze now, I get very nostalgic a little bit because Patrick Swayze did pass away as well, years
Oh,
ago.
yeah.
Yeah, yeah. I think his last part was in Donnie Darko, quite possibly.
Oh, great part in
Yeah,
that movie. I mean, he plays a really fucked up character,
yeah,
but amazing.
yeah.
Again, going back to the range of Patrick Swayze.
Unreal.
I mean,
Unreal. And he was perfectly cast. See, and that's another thing about this film. And I think that's another thing I enjoy that I appreciate from the 90s. And I think I'm going to say this a lot as we go through things from the 90s. And that's like, especially with movies. When they cast people, I was like, oh, I'm okay with the visual of who they cast. Like when Keanu Reeves goes, I'm 25, I'm like, I believe that. I believe that he's 25. That's fine. Okay, he's 25 years old, right? I can believe he's 25 years old. And it makes sense that he's with Lori Petty, the character. They don't look too far apart in age. And Patrick Swayze looks older than Keanu Reeves, but he's not like super old. He's like in that space of like, guru age, I guess you would say in some ways, right? So all of it made sense to me. Now, sometimes when you watch films, if they made this film now, it would be crazy. You know what would happen. Like the
hmm
characters look too young. They'd be like, I'm 25. I'm like, no, you're not. There's no way that you're 25. There's no way that that girl's 22. And there's no way that like Keanu Reeves, whoever they would cast for Patrick Swayze's part, is supposed to be Patrick Swayze's part.
no.
It just doesn't make sense. Like the '90s made things real. I noticed that like all the rooms in the '90s look smoky, and
Okay.
and everything's gritty. I was like, fuck HD. I don't need it in HD. I don't want this movie in HD. I want to watch it
No.
normally.
I mean, the one thing you could say is that the surfing shots would have been better if you did it in HD.
Sure, but they were still
But then
gorgeous.
you'd really have to have like really good doubles.
Oh
But
yeah,
either way,
absolutely.
let me talk about this.
Go for
So
it.
they go surfing. He's learning how to surf. There's a little montage thing about him surfing. I gotta say that the talking in the ocean, the dubbing was a little annoying to me. It kind of was like
So bad.
bad. Like they didn't even like put in the sound of the ocean. They just
No.
like it's just them talk. Like you just hear like just them.
The sound
Like
dropped out
it,
totally.
like as if me and you were talking in the ocean and all you just hear is like we have mics on or something like that. Like how do you not hear the ocean a little bit? Like, just try a little bit. Like, they just didn't try. Like, they were like,
Mm-mm.
oh, we're going to put all this sound in later on. That was a little weird at
Yeah.
some points, right? But then, like, whatever, they're hanging out. Brody shows up, and some guy throws a
Bodi.
football. Bodi shows up.
We've
Some
been
guy
calling
throws a
him Brody the
football.
whole time.
He's like a bro.
Bodi. Bodhisattva.
Bodi. Bodi, the guru, shows up, kisses what's her name. She's like, I know him. Like, why does she need to explain that to Johnny Utah? They just met. They weren't in a relationship.
No,
Why is
not
she
at all.
saying that? I know him. All right, so us is she basically she's talking to us. Like she's done two things talking to us. He says, I'm Johnny Utah when she saves him the first time. Somehow she's there.
Yeah.
I mean,
Where'd she come from?
and she goes, "Who cares?" Just like I was like, "Okay, who cares? Why are you saying this?" Right. Second one, Patrick Swayze comes, picks her up, gives her a kiss in the mouth, and she turns around, looks at Johnny, and says, "I know him." Again, they just met. There's no explanation needed. She could kiss whoever she wants in the mouth, right?
I know, it's so weird. It's so weird. I hope
And
she knows him.
Bodi is like Bodi, right? Where I'm
Yeah.
going right now. Bodi is totally ignoring Johnny. Like, doesn't care about him. He's
No.
playing freaking lion. He's playing alpha male right now. and he's just talking to her. Friend throws a football out of nowhere because, people just carry around footballs.
Yeah.
Dan. Instead of, Karate Kid soccer on the beach, it's time to do the football scene.
Very
Now,
good. It was the same beach.
same beach. It
Yeah.
was the same beach? Because
Yeah, I thought
apparently
you just
that beach, that beach is where you have fire pits and you play some sort of game and somebody gets into a fight. Right?
same
That's
beach.
what happens.
Yeah, that's what happens at that beach. Daniel's son could have been down the beach playing soccer.
All at the same time. Where's the motorbikes? Where are the motorbikes?
Yeah, right.
So we see all of a sudden there's a full on, not even touch football game, like rough touch football game
It was
that
crazy.
also involved one female. I don't remember seeing any other female.
No.
Right? Johnny's like, all right, let's play. He's already in it. I don't even think he's playing undercover cop at this point. I think he's just a 25-year-old who got out of college and is just hanging out. Okay. So he's just hanging out. He's actually a really bad undercover cop. And he's just like, well,
The worst.
man, I really like this girl. She's playing football. I'm really good at football. Let's do this. All right.
Yeah.
And then you see, Bodi like getting upset that Johnny's, he hasn't even figured out he's Johnny yet. But he's all mad, tackles him, whatever. Now Johnny's got to get him back. And somehow the field gets a lot bigger. How long were they playing? They were running for a while. Johnny's knocking boys out left and right. Guy from Oz, Beecher gets knocked down. Everything's getting knocked down. And Johnny tackles him into the ocean?
Yeah. I was so confused by that.
I was confused. I was like, man, this game just got really intense, and they were going pretty far. They were literally going 100 yards, and gets knocked down, and then all of a sudden, Bodi, being the freaking Zen character that he is in the beginning of the movie, he gets less Zen throughout the movie. In the beginning, he's all like, "Oh, don't worry, man. Don't you know who this is? It's Johnny Utah." And his friend's like, "Oh, sorry, bro. I didn't know you were Johnny." "Oh, Johnny." So everybody follows college football who are surfers and bank robbers. They happen to stop their lives of surfing and bank robbing to watch college football. Oh, you know why? Because they only surf in the summertime. College football is in the fall. That's what they do. They just watch college football.
Yeah, so for those bunch of months, they sit down, they probably play fantasy football, fantasy college football. They probably
they
really
bet their
serious.
money. They bet the money that they got on fantasy football, college.
Well, they're really
football.
bad at it then if they have to keep robbing banks. They probably lose every bet.
Well, first of all, he has to rent that house that has candles everywhere.
Dude, I don't know how they have that house. How do they get stuff? Is he signing leases? What is happening? How are they getting any of this? And at the same time, you're right. Where did that field come from? And why did he tackle him in the ocean?
Alpha male shit.
Yeah, because he didn't know that he was the bank robber yet. Keanu Reeves has no idea who this guy is.
Because he tackled him because he's the girl's boyfriend last time. That was a male shit. That was some dick swinging shit.
Yeah, this is a totally different movie. And then he has to wake up the next day. Wait, it's not that day, right?
It's not that day yet. We're not even there yet.
Holy shit, you're right.
We're not even there yet. This whole part is just them meeting each other. He doesn't even know that they're the ex-presidents. They're just being friends, and he's just happy to be part of this guru shit. He's fallen in love with Bodi, and Bodi's fallen in love with him.
That's right.
Because Bodi loves him already. Fucking Johnny Utah. Might have made him a lot of money. We don't know.
Right. And then you find out all about his knee injury and stuff like that. And then what? I think after that, doesn't he show up? Doesn't the boss start reaming them out in the next scene? And he's got a surfboard in the FBI agent office. He's sitting there with this the most ridiculous looking surfboard. If you're going to be undercover, get a better surfboard. If the FBI is paying for it, what is that?
Bro, he walks into the office in the elevator with the surfboard. That part of the movie is ridiculous. I thought I was watching Baywatch. I'm like, this is not allowed. An FBI agent, they would have just said leave it downstairs. The guy walks into the office.
Yeah.
And he's wearing Gary's wearing some other button-down party shirt.
Yeah.
Guy's ready to go to
Luau.
retiree luau that's
Yeah.
happening next
Right.
week or something, or that
Yeah.
day, because apparently I think Gary is just at the office. I think that dude actually isn't an FBI agent, and he just like shows up, and they're just like, he's my crazy old grandfather that we haven't said that he's fired yet. He's
Let's
like
give
the
him a
guy with
bug.
the stapler in the office, like
Oh my
like
God,
where's my
that's right.
stapler?
Yeah.
They were just like, oh man, just give him this case. Got this new guy. He's young,
Yeah.
dumb, and full of cum. Like, just fucking let it go. Just let it go.
Yeah. There was another scene where Keanu Reeves, after he gets Lori Petty's license plate, they track her license plate down in the office, and when they're supposed to be like taking this very seriously, the, it becomes like the horniest scene ever. They're like, oh, 5'6", 119 pounds, blue eyes. Oh, and the girl typing all this stuff in, she's like, oh, you did really good. It's just like, what? Aren't you all supposed to be trying to figure out how to catch bank robbers, not trying to set him up on a Tinder date? He can't
It's
see. They're like pushing him to be like, yeah, go ahead, have sex with this one.
dude. This whole point of the whole part of this movie, which is like 25 minutes, was just him trying to hook up with this girl. Like
Yeah.
he still hasn't even like found any leads.
Zero leads. There are zero leads at this point.
Like, we're just having the relationship set up.
But it's a relationship that, it's not like they needed that relationship. You could have almost written Lori Petty's part kind of out in some way, or you know what I mean. I'm glad that she was there because she was really great. But when you think about like a 2-hour film, you've got to start trimming stuff, right? He could have that whole thing between him and Patrick Swayze could have happened in a different way. If he knows that he's Johnny Utah, if he knows him, they could have set it up in some way where like all of a sudden they became friends because he knows him from college football.
Yeah, but nobody knew that he knew them that he was Johnny Utah until he was playing that game at the beach. And the only reason why he was at the beach is because he was he asked what's her name to train him.
Yeah.
And then she was the in on that, right? But like he still didn't know that that was the guy, right? He thought it was like Anthony Kiedis. Like they still don't know who the ex-presidents are yet.
Yeah, they still thought it was that group with Anthony Kiedis in it.
Yeah, which is just ridiculous because it was too obvious. Like, those guys didn't give a shit about anything. They're not that smart. They were like partying in front of the house and stuff. Like, those two were really bad FBI agents. Like, you know the guys that were making fun of them the whole time?
Oh my God, those guys are ridiculous.
They were ridiculous, but they were the ones like, you guys is terrible. You guys suck. You guys are horrible. Like, they knew that wasn't a good spot.
Can we talk about the party, though, when he goes to that party? When he goes to that party, the fire breather in the party.
Okay, so hold on. Before we get to that party. So the next scene, he's at the beach.
Right.
Right? And he's taking a shower with his rash guard on. Because Patrick Swayze is about to kick some ass, so whatever. So, like, he gets in a fight. Patrick Swayze helps him. As they're walking, Keanu is asking so many questions.
It's like a crazy amount of questions. He's like interrogating him
about these stupid dudes. And like, Brody's like, yeah, bro, this is not what I'm talking about. I'm just talking about, yo, I see that you haven't really even figured out what like life is like, what surfing is. And like, I see it in your eyes. And you're like, what is happening? And he's like, you want to come to the party? And I was like, all right. Like, cool.
Yeah. Next scene, fire breather.
Fire breather with POV.
Yeah, in
POV.
A small beach bungalow. Someone got a 3rd-degree burn. 100%.
Smoke alarm went off.
But can we... I just want to say one other thing about that Anthony Kiedis scene. How can no one see the walkie-talkie that Keanu Reeves is holding?
Oh, my God.
He was in a towel. He was talking into a towel. And the walkie-talkie antenna is just like up in the air. Like, come on, man.
And how could you not hear it?
Yeah, there's like he doesn't have an earbud in. He's just like talking to us like, hey. And Gary Busey's in a car, in the biggest car. He's Gary Busey. He's got
They're terrible at stakeouts.
He doesn't even have small binoculars. He might have well been looking through a telescope. I mean, he was just sitting there, and he's like, "Hey, you got? Are you good? Are you good?" I was like, "What?" This is why at the end they didn't see these guys run into a bank because he's reading Calvin and Hobbes in the fucking
Oh,
car.
and he's making him get a sandwich. Like
Two, Johnny,
two, two,
two.
two. John,
He says it 3 times. He's like, two. Let me get two. Hey, Johnny.
Then he's like, "Oh, did you see the Lincoln pull up?" He's like, "What Lincoln?" I'm like, "What?" The whole point of you being there was to stake out. Like you could have that movie could have ended. Like you didn't have to have him blow out his knee, which he blows out twice or 3 times maybe.
Yeah,
But
he
like
should have to get his leg amputated after that.
he's like at the end when he's like, "Are you still surfing?" He's like, "No, I don't have a leg." After we went skydiving and I fell out of the sky.
Oh my god, dude! Can we just that party? One of my favorite scenes happens. Well, two things happen. You hear about the 50-year storm, that big storm that's going to bring all the great waves, right? The 50-year storm.
First of all, this is way before like big wave riding was a thing because like Australia is not the place to go. Now it's actually off the coast of Portugal in Nazaré. Right. Nazaré's got like 100-foot waves and whatever. So like it's funny to hear like a movie like back then. This is where you would go. Like Australia's typical place to go surfing like that. So yeah, you hear the 50-year storm. The best scene comes up next.
No, and it goes, if you want the ultimate, you have to be willing to pay the ultimate price.
Yes.
Dude, every line is golden in this.
It's like golden. There's also the other one. It's not tragic to die doing what you love. Guru.
The whole film is based around these lines. Actually, if Patrick Swayze's character was Splinter from the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, I think the Turtles wouldn't have been so dumb. Because,
Patrick Swayze is everything in this movie.
And they're falling in love. Patrick Swayze's character, Bodi and Johnny Utah are falling in love. Totally falling in love.
Dude, the way Patrick Swayze looks at Johnny Utah, it's mesmerizing.
Yeah, because then they go night surfing, and one of my favorite things in this movie happens. Beecher from Oz takes the lighter fluid bottle and just stabs it. Why?
Notice that guy never surfed, right? Like he's just there.
He's a maniac.
He's like watching them. He's definitely a maniac in this movie. Yeah. Like he's just like, I'm just gonna watch these guys. I'm gonna watch.
Yeah, stabs the lighter fluid bottle. It's like you didn't have to do that. You could have taken the top off and just poured it.
Yeah, but it was so cool to do that.
Yeah,
and he's like, want to have a stealth mission. And notice he gives him his surfboard.
What is that? A stealth mission?
Stealth mission. They're going surfing in the dark.
Yeah.
So he's like, just ride the wave, bro. And he's like, yeah, you're surfing. Yeah. Most horrible dubs ever is that part. Like that whole part.
Horrible dubs. Terrible. But great looking. I mean, it looked great. Oh. If this had a good soundtrack, it would have been, I mean, even better.
Yes.
But this scene is definitely the sex scene between Bodi and Johnny Utah. This is how I saw it. This is how I saw this nighttime surfing scene.
The best part about this, it goes back to saying Johnny Utah still isn't really doing any undercover work because he is just being friends with these people.
Yeah.
The next day, he is planning to go shut down the other Nazi crew, thinking that they're the ex-presidents.
Absolutely.
So, like, in his mind, this is just his new friend.
No, this is his new friend, sort of his love interest, basically. I mean, so we're moving towards that. And, and he's got a girlfriend who is supposed to be his in. Like, that's where I get confused. Like, he chose this specific route, and she's supposed to be the one that is supposed to get him to the bank robbers, but that makes no sense. I mean,
but yet she doesn't hang out. But she doesn't hang out with like the other crew. Oh, hold on, we need to pause for a second. Right. Can we rewind and remember why he went to that beach and met the Nazis? He decided that since beaches get closed every once in a while because of the oil spillage
Yeah.
that happens, that would get into someone's hair, and we do DNA testing.
Yeah.
This motherfucker's a scientist all of a sudden. Brings that
And
up.
they just start stealing people's hair, like in public, cutting people's hair.
Yeah.
What kind of serial killer shit is that?
And people are okay with this. And why do we get so scientific all of a sudden?
Yeah.
It was like a PSA for like global warming. Like they're like, oh, you know, some of the beaches get closed down every once in a while. I'm like, what beach gets closed down? Everybody's surfing. What do you mean?
Yeah,
Beaches
and
are
like
closed down.
after they say that, the first scene they show some gross beach or wherever
Gross
they
beach.
were. I don't know.
It was closed.
But people were there, and it's like a factory there or some sort of oil refinery. Like
It was Bar Beach.
Oh my God! It was Bar Beach. I'm like,
It was Bar Beach with waves.
no one should go there. Why did I ever go there?
You know, that's how we didn't get sick. We swam in Bar Beach. Our parents let us go to Bar Beach.
Just go to Bar Beach. You know, go to Coney Island, whatever. You want to swim at Coney Island? Go, get to it. Yeah, but yeah, go ahead.
No, the next scene was ridiculous because it was like the dudes were smoking weed
under a
and
blanket.
Like,
come
when
on,
you guys
man.
are done making out.
He's a narc, dude. It's like, no, he's the guy who stole your hair.
Yeah,
that's
for
who
a
he is.
wig for his wife or something.
Yeah, so basically these two guys smoking weed are okay with that. It's just like they put it together that first of all, that's the worst cover ever. I'm making a wig for my wife from what, like 10,000 people. You're gonna go and cut their hair.
What about Johnny Utah's when he's like, "Bro, I just saved your life, bro."
Yeah, he yanked a guy's hair out of his head. He's like, "There's a sucker on your head." And the guy said, "Let me see it." He's like, "Yeah, I saved your life, bro." But then he turns around and the camera sees him and his face just totally changes. So it's like he's putting on the extra bras and like he's like less.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, he's a genius, dude.
He's the worst FBI agent ever.
Worse. I actually thought Keanu Reeves in this movie, it was like every time he was in a scene where he wasn't wet, it was like a gentle breeze was always being blown at him. He just always looked like
they were definitely following him,
blowing at him. It was hilarious.
They were definitely following him with a fan. They were following him with a fan.
It was unbelievable. I loved it. It was so great.
So it's like an hour in at this point, and Johnny Utah still has not realized that the ex-presidents are the people he's hanging out with.
He has no clue. He has zero clue.
Like, these dudes are just getting him up at like 4:30 in the morning and going surfing, and he has no clue that hasn't put anything together that these dudes are the ex-presidents.
He's not asking questions. He knows he's looking for surfers, and he's not asking any questions. He's just like buddies with them.
Yeah. And the surfers that he's hanging out with, that the girl was supposed to be an in for, aren't the ones, and he thinks that they're the other ones. So what was she really in for? What was
just trying to get it in.
That's it. You just used that excuse to get lessons from her.
And he did. And in one of the creepiest things ever, they're out there, they're the leftover, Patrick Swayze that just leave the fire on for them. Okay. And then like he goes, they're talking and she's like, oh, you look so relaxed now. And then he goes, and she's like shivering to death. Like her teeth are chattering. And he's just like, goosebumps.
Goosebumps.
Now I know we're making fun of like the way it's being said, but these are the lines in the film too. I mean, we have to understand like that's the line in the film. So Keanu Reeves had to look at it and be like, I guess after that, my next line is goosebumps and touch her leg weirdly. Like,
yeah.
Like, okay, goosebumps.
And then, do they have sex in the ocean or does it happen on the beach? Like, because they're just making out in the middle of the dark ocean.
Yeah, drifting towards nowhere. But I believe they probably had sex on the beach.
So while I was watching it and they showed you like the underneath shot of like the two, the thing, it was great, but I was waiting for like Jaws to come and kill both.
It did look like that first opening scene of Jaws. Like it's just like they're making out. It's like, ha!
I was waiting for that. All right, so he wakes up late.
Is
Now
this something
he's
that only happens in movies though, where characters after they have sex, especially if they have to go somewhere, they wake up and almost like go, oh, "How did I get here?" It's like, bro,
yeah,
you.
he's like
What do you mean? How did you get here? You were there. You had sex on the beach, and you're waking up like, oh, where am I? What happened?
oh shit, I'm late. I'm like,
I'm late.
you weren't drunk. You just had sex.
Yeah, you could have went home at any moment. They're gonna be like, all right, we have to kind of leave. I do have work in the morning.
Yeah,
I'm an FBI agent.
he's a terrible FBI agent. Again, this is bad. He's late. He's late to his own sting operation.
Yeah.
Now this scene, Dan, it reminds me of like Bad Boys, Bad
Oh,
Boys 2. Like this movie all of a sudden becomes the most gruesome movie.
unbelievable.
They're screaming. It was almost like we were watching a horror movie.
Yes, this was an amazing scene. This is the scene I used to see sometimes on TV the most. Whenever it was on TV, I'd turn it on and be like, this was the scene that would always be on for some reason.
Dude, first of all, I don't know why they needed to put it in there, but it was funny. Like, I guess it's not that funny, but he's like trying to pretend he's walking his dog and he walks by this guy who has to say something in a Jamaican accent wearing a Jamaican flag
Yeah,
shirt.
come
Like,
on.
what was the point of that?
What was his dog's name? What did it, he's like screaming. Gary Busey just screams in this film. That's what he does. Oh my god, that was just the weirdest thing. It's like this extra,
Dude, but
not
this,
even extra, but like this
from
guy had to
this,
be.
yeah, it
Yeah,
was such a weird, like, thing. But from this point on in the movie, it does nothing but get gruesome. Like, we now start to see also how trigger happy the FBI is in this movie.
yeah, absolutely. Because this entire scene unravels, like you said, like Bad Boys, right? And actually, I wrote down at one point, I was like, this movie is like Bad Boys before Bad Boys. Because
Yes.
one, the length of the movie.
Mm-hmm.
Two, Bad Boys has a way better soundtrack. But like if you put the Bad Boys soundtrack into Point Break, you basically have Bad Boys. Except, the two characters, the partners aren't like they don't have that type of relationship. But you almost have that type of like I mean, think of even like how they had to save Lori Petty at the end. Bad Boys 2. I mean, that's the same thing. They were off script. They were just going to
No,
save like yeah,
yeah, I think it's definitely Bad Boys without the comic relief. Like Bad
yeah,
Boys obviously has Will Smith and Martin Lawrence, who like
yeah,
they're known for their comedy and action, but like this was just
action.
there was just action. But yeah, this scene, the close up in the house, running around, it was
Yeah.
before. I don't know if you remember in Bad Boys 2, they had a like 360 thing that was going on
Oh, yeah,
where
that
they
was
were
awesome.
shooting through the walls and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So that kind of reminded me that if they had that technology then, they would probably do that kind of shot.
Oh yeah, and I love this scene. I thought like this was a
Oh, with the
great
action,
action
as an
scene.
action scene, it was crazy. That girl was screaming.
Yep.
The girl beat him up while her titties are out, just like
First of all, I
titties
love
out.
that.
What
Not
is
only
that?
did she kick the crap out of Keanu Reeves, she stabs that other guy 3 times in the back. What happens to that guy? No one cares after the whole scene's over. Like she literally jumped on him, was like, ah! And like stabs that guy. I mean, she and that's actually
She
that.
destroys while
Yeah,
she's naked the whole
yeah.
time.
The whole time she wasn't like that typical like, all right, we're gonna put a naked woman in this movie and she's gonna be, it's just a pointless naked character. She kicked the shit out of Keanu Reeves, like
Yes, I
unbelievable.
mean she was screaming at first and then like went off.
Yeah, yeah.
Went off.
She
Then
should have
the
gotten
first
killed though.
one got shot, right? The girl at the door got shot, right?
Did she?
I thought so. Or
It
she got
looked
like
like
knocked out,
she should have gotten
something
shot.
like
I
that.
feel like the girl in the shower when they shot through the glass, actually should have died. But it's movie magic. The girl who was in the bra and underwear, when they shot at Gary Busey, she should have gotten killed. but we have to save all the killing for the Nazis. So what was funny was that, or whatever they are, when when Anthony Kiedis shoots himself in the foot, I was just like, come on, man, this guy is the worst. He's the worst. He's the worst.
Dude, they didn't want him to die. They were like, he's like, I don't want to die in this. So he ends
Yeah,
up just shooting himself in the foot.
yeah.
But it was crazy. At the end, the lawnmower,
Oh my
his
God.
face is about to get destroyed by the lawnmower. Like, this shit got serious.
Yeah.
Got serious.
Yeah,
So,
and not only that, what I loved about it was the slow motion. Again, there was some slow motion in that scene, I believe, right? I mean, with some shooting. I mean, I think the use of slow motion in this movie was perfect. But yeah, I love this scene. It's one of my favorite action scenes, I think, of all time. I think it's like one of the best ones because who was in this scene? Tom Sizemore.
oh,
He's the
really?
undercover guy that gets all
Oh,
pissed.
yes. And he's all pissed because they mess up. The DEA comes in like, so this is like the biggest fuck up. It was crazy. And then what? He gets fired?
Who?
Keanu.
No.
So what happens after this scene? I'm trying to remember.
They get yelled at, and then I mean, in my notes, and here's the other thing. I was actually just getting so sucked in to this movie that I just was like forgetting to write notes. But I think what happened after this was like he gets reamed out, right? And then it's the scene where he's got
His armpit out.
his armpit out. He's on the
He's
Scarface
just
bed
laying.
sheets.
He's just laying there.
Yeah, he's on the Scarface bed sheets,
So
the black satin.
basically, he had a bad day at work. He went and banged the girl again,
Yeah,
and then it's 4:30 in the morning, and there's a knock at the door,
yeah.
and she says he does this all the time. It's Bodi, and they're on the beach, and for the first time, Johnny Utah sees the four of them riding the longest wave possible. Like, this wave goes on forever.
Yeah, that's so funny.
They're having a party wave that goes on forever. And that's when he puts two and two together and is like, they are, oh, that's because what's his name pulls down his pants and moons
See that?
Bodi, who's cracking up about seeing his ass and going, yeah. And that's when Johnny Utah is like, I gotta go.
I cannot
I got
believe
to go.
that guy's ass is the linchpin to the entire story. When you really
That
think
was
about
it.
the arc of the film, it's just like, all right, we saw this guy's ass in the beginning. I thought, oh,
Yep.
it's just a passing ass. It's just a passing scene,
Nope.
whatever. No. Thank God they rewound it a few times. So look at that guy's ass a few more times. Because Johnny Utah has to be about 50 feet away when he sees this guy's ass. How
Yeah.
did he see it though in that way? Because like they're moving. Like how would he be able to go, that's the ass?
He studied that really close.
And that
I
is
mean,
one
it
of the
said
more,
thank you on it, but the
yeah.
ass that Bodhi saw didn't say thank you.
I mean, that was a pretty graphic mooning scene. I wrote down most graphic mooning scene ever. I mean, it was just full on ass crack.
Full on. Whilst surfing.
Yeah. How did he stay on the board?
I mean, he's a great surfer.
I mean, the other thing, can I just say one thing about surfing scenes? When the first time he sees Bodhi surfing, and then Tyler, Lord Petty, is saying, like, he's like, who's that? And she's just like, oh, that's Bodhi. The montage of him surfing is him catching wave after wave after wave after. I mean, it's just the way they edited that. He was just like, got it.
It's
Okay, next. Oh, got it. Got
Yeah.
one. Okay, it's just like they're all different waves on different days, and like the way they cut the scenes is just insane. I was like, he would have
Yeah.
to be out there just like one wave and then hop over a wave and just and then just get that wave and never have to paddle.
No. Bodhi never has to paddle. He's actually a god.
So here is where I wrote an hour in, and I'm wondering what's left.
You think it's over?
No, we're an hour into the movie. When you see that guy's ass, we're about an hour into the movie.
Yeah, and you think, okay, so the movie's gonna come to a wrap. It's coming to an end. They're on the stakeout. They're like, we're gonna do this stakeout.
Yeah. And how that
So he's
scene
not
opens?
even that close. So
No.
at this point, in my opinion, he's only really hung out with Bodhi 3 times.
Yeah.
So they're not that
we
close.
see. No.
They're not that close.
No.
They could have been, but they're not that close. So the best part is Gary's so hungry. While they're on a stakeout, He
And
wants a
it's
fucking
10:30.
sandwich.
But wait a second. Let's just understand something. We do get a time. It's 10:30 in the morning, which means
And he wants
how long could he have been at that stakeout? Because the banks don't open until what, like 8, 9 o'clock in the morning?
9.
Okay, so if a bank opens at 9 a.m., they're not robbing the bank. We know how they work. People have to be in there. The bank has to be open. So they've only
Mm-hmm.
been sitting there for about an hour and a half,
Mm-hmm.
and he's hungry,
Mm-hmm.
and he's been reading Calvin and Hobbes.
Oh, he wants to bring that up a couple of times. He said something about Tower Records too.
Oh,
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 Bodi went to Tower Records.
he followed him. Yeah, the night before, when after he goes, I gotta go. I have an appointment. I forgot a new client, and then he runs off like from after he sees that guy's ass, and then he meets up with Gary Busey. He's like, so I followed him around. He went to this place and he went to that place, and they're moving. And then he went to Tower Records and picked up a few CDs. It's like, okay,
I'm like, way to put in the advertising money that was spent
yeah,
on this
yeah,
film.
yeah. Then he went to Pergamons. He picked up some cock.
And he stopped and watched a movie called The Gremlins.
Yeah, you know it's coming out this Christmas. Gremlins. You want to go see it? So yeah, then they go on the stakeout, and he goes, oh, there's this little sandwich shop around the block. Can you get me 2 meatball subs? You know, get me 2. I could have 2, and we think that part's over. And then he goes out the window, blowing their cover or whatever, like Utah, get me 2. Don't scream Utah, get me 2. You know your partner's been using his real name during this like undercover mission. You're on a stakeout. Don't scream Utah, get me 2. It's like, you dummy. Like, what is wrong
The
with you?
best. And then
Oh,
like he's still looking down, right? And Johnny goes to order these sandwiches, but doesn't look at the bank.
no.
Like your stakeout, wouldn't you be like, I'm gonna order sandwiches while I'm waiting, I'm gonna look at the bank to
Nope.
see that the 4 people ran out of it?
Yeah, which it was
Like
hilarious.
they
That was
ran out while he was looking for these stupid fucking sandwiches.
it was
Fucking
it was the
Utah,
funniest
give me
scene.
2.
He's like, let me get 2 meatball subs and tuna on a tuna sandwich. Don't eat tuna on a stakeout. Secondly, like he's talking and he's like getting a drink. He's getting his money out. It was hilarious when that Lincoln pulled up and they all jumped out and ran in the bank. And then he looks like, oh, and then he gives him his sandwiches. He goes, oh, I should have gotten 3. And then Johnny Utah's
Yeah.
like, hey, did you see that Lincoln pull up? He's like, what Lincoln?
What Lincoln?
Guys, it's an hour into the film. You need to know what's going on at some point. What Lincoln? Then they all run out, and Johnny Utah, in one of the greatest moments of all time, blows his cover, runs. I mean, it's already blown. In my opinion, I think Patrick Swayze already knew what was going on. Yells, FBI. Patrick Swayze looks right at him. His partner takes his gun out. He's about to shoot him. He's like, no, don't. And then what happens? Keanu Reeves just starts firing his gun in the middle of a busy intersection without saying anything.
And like they didn't fire at them.
No,
Like
they didn't fire
Bodhi
at them.
the whole time says don't fire.
Yeah,
They haven't fired, and Johnny and his partner are destroying this car, destroying like just shooting away,
yeah.
just shooting away.
No one on the street knows what's going on. They just think there's like a gunfight, and that's all that's happening.
The best is like they go to the gas station, and then we have the Zoolander moment where a
Yeah,
gasoline
yeah.
situation happens. This is where Bodhi starts to lose his mind.
Oh yeah,
And
yeah,
becomes narcissistic and vindictive. Like, and
yeah,
this is where things go wrong, right? Because even his partners are like, what the hell? We gotta go. We gotta go. Why is he taking so long?
yeah.
Like, he got so involved with, why is he blowing up the car? He fucks up right there, right?
Yeah.
Notices that it's Johnny. He's got to know it's Johnny, right? They've been wrestling for a while at this point.
He saw him. He looked right at him.
Yeah, it wasn't at the end of this chase scene, right? It had to have been throughout the whole time.
Yeah, no, he knows it's him the entire time.
The entire time.
Yeah.
So they're running. I have to say, one of the best filmed chase scenes.
Oh, this was the car chase and the foot chase was amazing.
The foot chase was great. The steady cam was awesome.
Mm-hmm.
He gets a pit bull thrown at him.
Okay. That was great because literally, like, that means Patrick Swayze's character is waiting, like, okay, I got this dog. Here he comes. Throws a pit bull at him.
Patrick Swayze's character saw Johnny. He definitely knew it was him because, like, you're pretty close to throw a dog. Like, you can't, like, you could, like, chuck a chihuahua, but, like, a pit bull?
Yeah, he's like, that dog's gonna be like, what, 140 pounds, almost 120 pounds?
That's meaty. And why is that pit bull okay with you?
Yeah, why is he not
attacking? You just picked up this. That's like most docile pit bull ever.
That's the only time I've ever seen a dog used as a weapon in a movie ever.
Yeah, I felt bad. Like there was a point where like they put a whimpering in him, but I'm like, all right, you edited the whimper of the dog, but you couldn't put waves in while people were talking.
No, cut out the ocean sounds. Put that non-existent soundtrack in the background.
Yeah.
But definitely when Johnny Utah kicks the dog in the face, probably. So we need that whimper. Mike, that whimper.
We need the whimper. And then there was then the woman. Like that's the thing too. Like the dog belonged to that woman, I believe
who
like,
beat the shit out of Keanu Reeves.
Yeah.
But why didn't she beat the shit out of Patrick Swayze?
He's wearing a tuxedo.
He's dressed like Ronald Reagan. She's like, oh, hey, it's Reagan.
Oh, it's Reagan.
Yeah. But also Keanu Reeves crashed through the sliding door. I mean,
that's true.
That door's not going to break that easily.
How is he not bleeding?
I've walked into plenty of those face first. It did not break.
But how is he not bleeding if he walks into that?
No, yeah, exactly. He should be hurting this entire film, actually, from all the wipeouts, from everything. He should be limping every day. All the time.
Oh, the whole time. Like, did he get, like, knee surgery?
I don't know. He said it folded back the wrong way. I mean, you can't join the FBI after that.
90 degrees.
It's over. You get a knee replacement for that.
Yeah, so they're running.
Yeah.
Chase scene's happening.
Great.
First time Johnny Utah blows up his fucking knee.
Oh, right in the LA River.
And he looks right at Bodi's eyes.
Oh.
And he could have shot him.
Yes.
Because you know he has a good shot because the beginning of the movie.
When he shot all those cardboard cutouts.
Dude, he was killer.
Killer.
And he was doing it in the rain. So you know he doesn't miss.
A torrential downpour.
Torrential downpour while chewing gum.
Yes.
Guy's a multitasker.
Yeah, absolutely.
Multitasker.
One of the greatest.
Gum, rub his stomach, and shoot cardboard pieces.
Yeah, definitely. And cock that shotgun one hand like the Terminator. The only other time I've seen that is Terminator 2. Ever.
Why are you doing that during training?
Nothing.
First of all, did they say like pretend your arm got shot?
Yeah. Or did they just say, look, everything is a criminal. Just shoot everything.
Dude, he shot everything. There was no cardboard piece that came by or wooden piece that came by that wasn't like an innocent.
They also
can we go back to that really bad like botched FBI, like, you know, when they went in.
Yeah.
Gary Busey shot the guy plain in the head, like boom.
Oh, right yeah. Yeah.
That was crazy.
Save that girl. Save the underwear girl. Yeah. Save the underwear girl. There was a lot of killing. There's also the word fuck was said 105 times in this film.
Yes. All right. So where are we? Okay, he's in the scene. So now he knows.
Yeah.
Now he knows he's been seen by Bodi.
Yeah. But I love this scene. It's one of the greatest scenes.
When he's at the girls?
No, when he shoots the gun in the air and he screams.
Oh.
How can we forget that? He's looking at Bodi, close up of his eyes, close up of Keanu Reeves, even closer close up of his eyes, close up of Keanu Reeves. Bodi climbs over the fence. Keanu Reeves. That's amazing.
Oh, it's great until the bullets come down and hit him in the face.
By the illustrious LA River.
Yeah, okay. So LA River, he's screaming in the air. He said, fuck. Next scene, he's with his girl. And he's like, you should have seen the other guy.
Yeah.
He's lying to her right there.
He's the worst.
He cheated on her with Bodi.
He cheated on her with Bodi, told her that his parents died, and he's a scumbag.
Terrible.
Yeah.
That's the only time he was actually undercover.
Yeah, when he lied to her about how his parents died.
Yeah.
'Cause
Other
her
than
parents
that,
died.
he hasn't really done anything.
No, no, he's done nothing.
Oh, and he says brah. A
Brah,
little more brah for his undercover
brah. Is
persona.
is this when she shoots the pillow?
Yes. Okay, so
Yeah.
I was gonna say this. Hold on.
Oh,
All right. So he's like, he wants to tell her stuff, and she sees that he wants to, but he starts to like get that cold look in his eyes. She brings up, and then out of nowhere, she shoots the pillow. First of all, she shoots a fucking gun in a house
yeah,
in L.A. No
yeah.
one flinches.
No,
Shoots a gun, shoots the pillow. First of all, two things are happening. How is she such a good shot?
awesome.
Second thing, his ear is bleeding and he
Oh
can't
yeah,
hear anything for about a half hour before that.
absolutely, absolutely. There's no
Bullet
way.
just went off,
Yeah,
side of your face. That's how you react?
yeah.
You don't go and run after her?
No, no. But I probably would not either because she looks like she would probably shoot him again. Like she would just
But
shoot
then,
him,
but then she leaves in the weirdest running scene ever, and how
right?
she runs out of that room.
Was she only wearing an open shirt?
Yes, she was naked.
So she ran where?
Naked. Into the next room.
Well, I'm guessing probably into her car.
Were they in an exercise room? Because the next scene, there's exercise equipment.
So he has a bed in like what looks like a bed and then a pseudo gym. So he works out in his bedroom, but he just doesn't have like a treadmill in there. He literally has several pieces of weightlifting equipment.
In this room?
Yeah.
Got it.
What's in there? Why would you put all your weightlifting equipment in there? It's gonna reek like garbage.
Nah, most of the time it's just used for like hanging clothes. But it's also a soundproof room because she shot a fucking pillow
Yeah.
and nobody called the cops.
No, she discharged like a 9 millimeter inside of a house and nothing happened. And he's
And
like,
is really good at it.
yeah,
She
he's
didn't shoot him.
yeah, and this
She
is
was able to shoot next to him.
that was amazing.
Everybody but Johnny has perfect aim right now.
Yeah,
Because Johnny can't shoot.
and this is where at this point in the movie, Keanu Reeves just falls down a lot because his knee's injured, so he can't chase after her.
Oh,
He
can't
falls
chase
out of
after
bed.
her
Yeah,
because his knee is shot.
that's right. So he falls out of bed, and he's like, Tyler, and she runs out, presumably not wearing any clothing, just like one of his button-down shirts, and runs out, and that's it.
And
Next scene,
that's it.
Bodi shows up. I would be. I mean, at that point, it's fucked up. It's over.
First of all, this again goes back to how bad he is as a cop. Someone is knocking at your door and you don't pick up your piece to have next to you. They know you're a fucking FBI agent.
Oh yeah,
He answers the door
yeah,
and pretends that they didn't lock eyes and
yeah.
have
And
a moment.
also, there's 46 minutes left in this movie at this point.
Yeah, you're like, how is that possible? When I was looking at it going, no, this movie's over soon.
It's not. It's not over. That was the craziest thing. It was just
Best
like
he's like, you're coming with me, and like Bodie's like, oh yeah, so how come you're limping? What'd you do? How was rough day? Rough day yesterday?
rough day. They both know what's happening. All of them say, rough day. Yeah, most uncomfortable car ride to a plane to go skydiving ever.
So then this is where I'm like, he's gonna kill him, right? And then they have that like weird exchange of like who's packed, who's shoot, and they're joking
Useless.
around, right?
Yeah.
So they jump out of a plane. Now they're going skydiving together. They jump out of a plane. So now here's what I think this is. Because Bodhi's now lost his mind, right? Sociopath. He's just like, no, I want to change this guy's mind about who we are. So he's gonna go and teach him how to
Why?
skydive because the next scene, because he needs to know how to jump out of planes, just in case he has to do it again.
Right. Yeah. Well, and just to say, Patrick
Hint,
Swayze did do this.
hint, hint.
Yeah.
They
Foreshadowing.
do it again,
So
right?
much foreshadowing. The ass, the
So
skydiving,
much. The rain
the
in
rain.
the beginning of the
The
movie.
rain. That's right.
It all comes back. at
What
the end,
the fuck, bro?
right? So, so, so they do a huge skydiving scene where they all hold hands, and somehow Keanu Reeves, Johnny Utah, is not just a great football player,
Yeah,
but somehow he is able to use his hands and learn how to do one of a probably more basic move in skydiving, but not if you're not a skydiver.
bro.
The fucking star thing where you're
Yeah,
holding each other.
yeah.
All right.
We went skydiving.
Yes, and your guy's name was Johnny Utah.
Well, yeah, it was Utah, but it was like
Utah.
if it was Johnny Utah, I would have lost my mind. I would have been like, I can't go.
No, they called him Utah.
Yeah, they called him
Johnny Utah. For Johnny Utah.
Well,
No, they called him that. His nickname was Utah because of this movie.
you know, I didn't
Like,
even put those two things together
are
until
you
now.
kidding me? Until now? Bro, I couldn't wait to do this movie because I was like, yo,
Oh,
we
you
went
did.
skydiving.
Oh my
We
God,
went
I'm a
skydiving and
moron.
they called your trainer, your
Utah.
skydiving guy, Utah, for Johnny Utah.
That's right.
Mine wasn't mine Batman.
I don't know. Your guys, I don't know what your guys did.
I think his name was Batman. I think that's what they called him.
Oh, maybe they all
Yours
had
was-
movie names.
Yeah, yours was Johnny Utah.
Oh my God, I'm an idiot.
You didn't know that?
I
knew.
don't. I guess I just.
Oh man, I remember that. That's awesome.
Dude.
That's awesome.
But yeah, we did this. We went skydiving. There's no way
Yes.
that I would want to jump out of a plane by myself the first time. Have you
First
ever done
time.
this? No.
And with
Okay,
people
here we go.
with people who know
You're a
that
cop.
you tried to
Kill
arrest them.
No,
Yeah.
arrest them, dude. He did not try. No one's trying to arrest anybody in this film. Literally, they went in there like, all right, so we're staking out here so we can kill them.
Yeah. They just shot at them.
Yeah, and he goes down. They jump into where they jump into the water. Where did they jump?
Well, because he said something about his knees, like, don't worry, we're not landing on land.
Yeah,
And then the bromance continues in the sky.
they're
in love with each other so much
Yeah,
that now they're shaking hands, and he's like, no, you pull it. 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 And they go back and forth
they want to pull
until like 500 feet.
It was something crazy like that. Yeah,
And they pull it.
yeah.
You know, and then he's like, oh, Jesus Christ, what's going on with me? Like, he's slowly losing his mind as well because he's so in love with Bodi.
Yeah, he's so in
And
love with him.
Bodi is also in love with him because he doesn't even care about his other crew anymore. He's just like,
Well, dude, wouldn't you rather have Johnny Utah on your crew instead of Roach?
oh, Roach that's his brother.
It was his brother?
I think so.
Well, I don't know,
think so.
That guy got the shittiest nickname, Roach. I mean, you know.
Oh, it was terrible. You know, it was because of like smoking weed.
Yeah, had to have been.
I hope. Or like,
I hope. Well, how else would they, like, if you had, like, why do you call him Roach? You don't want to know. You don't want to know.
you don't know.
So right after this, basically, you're thinking something bad's going to happen, and it does, but not to Keanu Reeves. Literally happens to Lori Petty. She gets kidnapped, and he has to show him the video of Lori Petty kidnapped.
This is his insurance policy.
Yeah. On what looks like, I don't know, a radar machine. That was like the weirdest, like, TV or whatever they put. He's like, hey, I have to show you something. If he says, I have to show you something, he pulls something out that looks like he's going to show me some sort of radar. I'm like, oh, this is going to be bad. I'm not going to be like, oh, this is going to be great. And did you notice he put his badge in the back of his pocket before he left the apartment before going skydiving?
Yeah, but he didn't
I
get
guess
the
because he
gun.
had to hide it. Hide it. They all know you're a cop, man. Why?
Well, he needed it for the bank scene.
Oh, I guess. Yeah. For the
They
bank.
needed to have it in there.
Yeah.
But he doesn't have a gun.
No. Which is crazy.
Or a mask.
Wait, so they robbed that bank right after that?
Yeah. They take him skydiving. They give him a little piece of heaven. And then they're like, oh, by the way, you're going to help us rob this bank.
After I went skydiving, I couldn't do much afterwards. I was like, holy shit. My body was insane. Could you imagine after he had to jump out of a plane?
Like, that was the idea, right? They're probably like trying to just make him all fucking discombobulated because the idea he was just going to leave him there anyway.
Yeah.
Right? So, but then this is where everything, again,
aren't they so wet now?
losing his mind. They have Turkish towers things getting dry on the way in.
They take out their Turkish out.
Turkish towels. They absorb a lot.
Yeah, they get the sham
So
wow out.
they're on the way in, and then this is where shit goes wrong.
Yeah.
Because Bodi goes, we got 90 seconds, go to the vault.
Yeah.
And that's when the rest of the crew should have been like, we ain't going to the vault, dude.
Yeah.
That's not happening.
Yeah.
We don't have time for this.
Yeah. What were they thinking? Why would they end up doing that? If you're part of this crew and you know this is a bad idea, speak up or just run out.
Yeah, yo, we're done. Don't go to the vault. What is he going to do? Shoot you? He's not. He's your best friend.
Yeah, he's not going to shoot anybody. Well,
No,
he does.
But he lost his mind. He lost his mind. And then, again, goes back to the cops and the FBI's here. They just do whatever they want. The freaking undercover cop is like, cover me. To the security guard who's like,
look like the guy from The Office.
Guy just wants to go home. This undercover cop wants to play hero.
Yeah, I'm off duty. I'm going to do this. It's like, okay, I know you have an obligation, but this guy doesn't.
What obligation? Just let the guys go. They're not killing anybody right now.
Yeah, chase them
They're
afterwards.
Not killing anybody. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, and what happens?
Then everybody gets shot, even the undercover cop guy.
Off-duty cop gets shot by Patrick Swayze in one of the awesomest scenes, though. I mean, after he gets shot, the slow motion of him coming up and the mask looks all crumpled and pissed off, and then he takes it off. I'm like, oh my god, dude, this is why Patrick Swayze is amazing. He's like a chameleon. All of a sudden he's like, I'm no longer this like existential guru. That's it. I'm now something else. And he
Oh yeah, no, he changed so many times in this. He was like a lion.
Oh,
like a lion.
Amazing.
Oh,
but that other guy dies. One of his partners, he gets killed. That was done.
Goodbye. Move on.
I thought he was wearing a bulletproof vest, though. Weren't they wearing bulletproof vests?
They all were, but I think he got shot like in the side or something like that.
I guess.
He's dead. All the guys get shot in the neck or something. Maybe he got shot in the neck. The best, and then like the cop is dead. Security guard gets shot too, right?
Oh yeah, he's dead.
Oh, he gets destroyed.
Yeah, he gets destroyed. Of course.
I blame the cop.
Yeah, what were you thinking? You're gonna take on 5 guys? Come on, man.
I don't know.
That was stupid.
Again, scenes are just getting crazier and more gory.
It was like that scene in Con Air when the guy goes like he has a gun and he's on a plane full of convicts.
Yeah.
Like, what did you think was gonna happen, man?
I don't know. That was a sad scene. And then, cut to he knocks him out with the butt end of the gun.
Awesome.
Now Keanu Reeves is getting arrested because he's the worst FBI agent ever.
He should get arrested.
And then his partner punches his sergeant in the face.
Yeah.
Knocks him out. But he said something also. He brought up another thing about being young and old. And he's like, we respected our elders.
Yeah.
And he's like, I was doing this while you were still
popping zits on your funny face.
Yes.
Popping zits on his funny face and jerking off to the lingerie section in the Sears catalog.
Yes, that's what he says. That's what he says.
Oh my god! I can't believe the guy who wrote the screenplay for Patriot Games after this.
Punches him in the face, knocks him out, cold.
This happens a lot in films in the 90s of these like police bosses. They get knocked out all the time.
And then he's like, I'm gonna go and I'm gonna take him to jail.
Yeah.
And then he's like, oh, I know where they're going. He's like, I had an idea you did.
Yeah.
Locks him out. Now, Johnny Utah is also selfish and a sociopath.
The worst.
Because now he's bringing his partner into this.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, who presumably is probably retiring in 2 years.
Oh, yeah. No, he's fucking...
22 years, he's retiring.
He's done. This might be his last case.
Oh, yeah.
Following these guys for 30 years. No, for like 22 years with that. Right?
13 years?
15 years, he said.
Yeah.
So, now, 15 years, that means those guys are robbing
it's gotta be like 9 years. 9 years?
I don't know.
It doesn't matter.
Now, they finally get up to the airport where they are. And then he drops off his partner in the middle of the airport to go hide somewhere with a gun, but yet says, don't shoot them.
Yeah, right.
Who fucks it all up?
John Utah.
Roach does.
Oh, right, yeah. Well, but
Well, no. So Roach kind of does. Goes and tries to shoot Gary. Gary moves out of the way.
yeah,
Got shot a little bit.
yeah.
Shoots Roach. The other guy gets shot. Everybody's starting to shoot everybody. Pilot wants to leave. Nobody shoots the plane
No, no one.
somehow.
Yeah,
Gary wants to shoot Bodi,
yeah,
and fucking Johnny Utah says no.
yeah,
Getting Gary shot by Roach again.
yeah. Why doesn't Johnny Utah have a gun?
Why does Johnny Utah? Oh, because he wants to keep him alive because of her.
He's got to find Lori Petty.
Yes.
That's right.
So this is all about a girl that he may or not love.
Dude, this guy's dick got
He
everything
loses
in
a
tow.
fucking partner
Yeah,
because
yeah.
you don't see her at the end. Is she there?
What are you talking about? Right at the end of the movie, he sees her right at the
Okay,
end.
but does she come to Australia with him?
No,
Are they still together?
who knows? Like, how long is that supposed to be? The
2 years
jump.
later.
All right, 2 years later, maybe.
They
He's
should have mentioned
surfing.
that. They
He's
mentioned
surfing every day.
he's surfing every day. He could have said with her.
Yeah,
Because what bothers me is at the end, she runs to him
yeah,
and is about to say, I love you. And he goes, not now.
yeah.
He
Another
shuts
time.
her mouth and says, another time.
Yeah. This
He's
woman
not
was
in love
just
with her.
kidnapped. She was just kidnapped by a maniac. And he's like, another time. No, now's the best time. You're in the desert.
Another time.
Yeah, yeah. Another time. You just got Gary Busey killed. You got a bunch of cops killed. You screwed up Tom Sizemore's thing. You got a bunch of other you probably killed a bunch of people in that car chase. And now you don't want her to say I love you. And then in the
Yeah.
end, what
They're not
happened?
together because you know why? Because he chases Bodhi the whole time, and
That's right.
she's probably like, you're too obsessed with this guy.
Yeah, I just missed you in Fiji.
Yeah. All right. So they get on the plane. There's only one parachute.
Oh, this is ridiculous and amazing.
He jumps out. Some reason Patrick Swayze decides to leave the gun there. Keanu Reeves does the best action fucking killer move ever and jumps out of the fucking plane and says,
"Fuck it,
fuck it."
Dives out of the plane without a parachute. Who in their right mind would ever do that? I'd be like, all right, whatever. They got away. I got to figure out where to land the plane. I'd be like, pilot, follow them. Just land.
Follow them.
Well, just land the plane wherever they land. Get the gun. Well, what are you doing?
No. He's like, I just skydove this morning. I learned how to skydive
this
by
is
myself.
all the same day. He jumped out of a plane twice in the same day, and the second time without a parachute, and was able to direct himself towards Patrick Swayze.
My question is, why Patrick Swayze and not the guy who's dying?
Carry the money?
Yeah.
I guess he knew that guy was going to die, and he just needed him to just get to the ground.
Okay. So, but then he was like, pull it. No, you pull it. Again, these guys are playing games with each other about pulling things.
They should have just made out.
They should have. In the air, they should have made out.
Yeah.
Like bald eagles do and just fall to the ground.
Yeah. Like bald eagles.
Just make out right until the end and then pull it.
Yeah, because what? They hit the ground. This guy, Johnny Utah, should not be able to
They hit the ground and Johnny Utah's leg falls right off. And when she runs over to say, I love you, and he's like, not now, that's because he can't hear anything because he's in such pain.
He's in blinding pain. He's like, it's like his ears are, that's all he hears.
Yeah, because she shot the pillow the day before, too. So he can't hear out of his right ear.
Yeah.
Right? That's why he's also saying not now. He's like, I can't hear you.
Yeah.
I got this ringing in my
not
ear.
Now. You made me deaf. And this hurts. Get off of me. Don't jump on me. But like the best part is like when him and Patrick Swayze hit the ground, Patrick Swayze is like, "Oh, you're the craziest son of a bitch!" Like I'd be like trying to run or beat this guy up, punch him in the face, and make sure he doesn't get up.
No,
like,
because
bro, that was nuts, bro.
Because he's still in love with him.
Yeah,
that's why. Because this is just a love that will never end. They can't kill each other. That's like a Batman and Robin thing.
Uh-huh.
No, not Batman and Robin. Batman and Joker. Without a Joker, there is no Batman. Without Batman, there is no Joker. So
Right.
they can never kill each other. So if they kill each other, what is the other person gonna do? So that's why they'll never kill each other. Like they need each other. These two need each other to
Yeah.
exist.
They need a nemesis.
Yeah. He only found out he was his nemesis like an hour and 45 minutes into the movie.
Yeah, 15 minutes of this movie is his like, oh, it's him. It's like, I don't
Once
know.
he finds out it's him, his whole life is destroyed. His girlfriend gets taken away.
Yeah,
Now he's stuck with her.
yeah,
They could have just like had a fling and like
yeah.
been done with it. But apparently, even Bodi's like, oh, she loves you, man. She loves you.
Yeah,
She never
loves
does that,
you,
but
man.
she loves you. I think they should have, at least at the end when he's like, he's still surfing. He could have mentioned like, yeah, also, I'm surfing with what's her name every day.
No,
Like, I need to know what's going on.
she's
She's
in
gone.
therapy. She's in therapy, bro. This guy ruined her life.
Yeah.
I mean, all she was doing was making sandwiches and surfing. All of a sudden,
Yes.
this dick comes into her life, lies to her about his parents being dead so that he could find a CI of some sort to find this bank robbery team that then an hour and 45 minutes into this film figures out, oh, it's been the dudes that I've been partying with and this one guy that I'm in love with.
Fast forward to what, 2 years?
It's got to be at least two. I mean, I'm not even sure. They don't even tell you.
It's raining.
Again,
So back to the opening
back
shot.
to the opening scene. A very, very
Raining.
wet Keanu Reeves.
And longer hair, Keanu Reeves.
That's right. So definitely years have passed. Well, maybe.
Years have passed.
Yeah.
Patrick Swayze still looking like a lion.
Shorter hair.
Shorter hair.
Yeah.
He's got some blanket / guru mane / I don't know what it is.
He's wearing a garbage
covering
bag.
himself. So fight scene has to happen.
Yep. Keanu Reeves gets his ass kicked again.
Keanu sucks at fighting.
He's
But-
the worst.
Tricks him into handcuffing.
Yeah. Yeah.
But then has the moment. Has the I understand what you mean, man. It's the once in a lifetime wave. Go ahead,
Yeah.
you ain't going anywhere anyway.
Yeah.
But then throws the fucking badge at the end.
Yeah.
He gives it all up. He's been chasing this man, finally gets him.
hmm
He basically stayed being a cop just to say he got Bodi.
Yeah.
They should have made out.
Yeah.
Then he could have.
Yeah.
Dude was single. I didn't see a ring on his finger.
No,
He
they
didn't
should
marry her.
No, marry her. No, I mean, he should have, what should have happened at the end of that film, he should have gotten down there. Keanu Reeves should have had a surfboard. Or at least there should have been two surfboards down there, right? He got down there, they looked at each other, and he's like, I miss you. Then they should have made out, and then they should have both ran into the ocean. And then as they die, they're just holding hands. That's how Point Break should have really ended.
Oh. Because you know what it shows is that Keanu's really not into. Yeah, he surfs every day. First of all, he's not surfing every day. That's a little tough. That's a little tough. But
if he's in the FBI, how is he surfing every day
I don't
and
know.
chasing him?
He doesn't sleep.
Yeah, exactly. No way.
Yeah, like what are you doing when you're flying to Fiji? You're
Yeah,
not surfing every day. Come on.
Yeah. Oh,
stop.
he's not here. I guess I should catch some waves. No wonder you're
Yeah.
missing him because you're wasting time surfing.
Yeah, you're. First of all, that's not happening, and it kind of shows that maybe he's not that serious of a surfer if he doesn't want to take the chance of surfing with him. And Bodi, not that great of a surfer. Didn't even last that long on that wave.
Dude, he literally fell
Wave
off
didn't
the
look that tough for him.
No, he
soon
fell
as he got
off that
on.
wave in a second. Like that always confused me. I'm like, did he just go out there and kill himself? Because that would be unlike the character too. He would want to catch that wave, even if he was going to go
See,
to jail.
I thought they should have ended it with he caught the wave
Yeah,
and he crashes on him at the end,
yeah.
like
And
like
just
he's
vanishes.
on it. They show it like he falls.
Yeah, that was weird.
That was weird to me. Like
Yeah.
they should have done like an awesome like he gets it and then it crashes over. Like
Yeah.
to me it was like he wasn't really riding it. He was
No.
just like struggling to be a good surfer.
Yeah, that was weird. That was unlike him, that always confused me. I was like, I don't understand why they would do that. This character's only shown that he's been more than capable of doing every physical thing that he's ever put his mind to, and you're telling me that he's going out there and he immediately falls off the wave? Come on now. If he, fine, you want him to die at the end? I'm for that. That's okay. I don't care about that part or whatever. We don't know what happens. Like he vanishes. Let him catch the wave. You already built him up as this character. You built him up as this guru existential anti-hero, which I'm looking at and I'm like, I'm rooting for you to catch this wave. And then
Yeah.
he doesn't. I'm like, that was disappointing.
Yeah, and then Keanu Reeves just throws his badge on the floor.
Yeah. We'll wait for him. He's like, he's a come back. I mean,
You let him go. No, I didn't. Yeah, you did. Yeah,
Yeah.
you did.
Yeah, you did, bro. You're the worst FBI agent on the planet. Like on the
That's why
planet.
you should. That's actually why you should throw that badge away. 'Cause
Yeah,
you're
there's a
terrible.
trail of dead people behind you, like that you've left in route to get to this guy who's literally Patrick Swayze's like, let me do your job for you. I'm gonna go out there and die because you are the worst.
He's like,
Uh,
dude, you still didn't get me, buddy.
yeah, you didn't get me. I'm gonna talk you into letting me go out there. You finally got me, Johnny Utah. You got your guy.
You got your guy.
His speech is amazing. It's a once in a lifetime opportunity. Come on, one wave. Just let me get one, and then I'll go with you. And he's like, okay. And he's like, yeah.
Where am I gonna go? Paddle to New Zealand?
I'm gonna paddle New Zealand. I was like, I love it. But really, how did he paddle out there? Did you see the water? I mean, there was no way
Oh, it was so rough.
he
It was
can't
so
paddle.
rough.
He's not
It was so
paddling
rough.
out there. That's ridiculous. He would have died just trying to paddle.
Yeah, it was tough.
Yeah.
But dude,
And it ended with bad music again. Whatever.
So that's the thing. I gotta say that the soundtrack is definitely not
Garbage.
It is garbage. But
Soundtrack.
all right,
terrible.
so
Woo!
but tell me that that's not what we just talked about. Is not Fast and the Furious.
The whole movie's Fast and the Furious. Now that you bring that up, the literal movie is Fast and the Furious. I can't even believe that. I didn't put two and two together because
Bro, I've put two and two together from like years ago. I remember I was telling a lot of people, I'm like, yo, the movie's Fast and the Furious. Think about it.
I can't believe they got
this,
away.
like turns his back on being a cop at the end, lets him go, gives him the car.
I can't believe they got away with that.
Bro, it's just recycling a movie. Like most plots get recycled, but think about it.
But
Imagine
go ahead.
Point Break came out when Fast and Furious came out.
Yeah.
Would they have made more than one? I don't think you could do it with surfing. But the fact that you can do it with cars because they just change up the scenario now.
Yeah, plus they're bank robbers. And inevitably they're going to get killed. Where like in the Fast and Furious, they're like petty criminals.
Well, they're superheroes.
Well, yeah. They eventually become superheroes.
The Fast and Furious, after like Fast 4, they became superheroes. They just don't want to tell you that.
Yeah, they
drank
enough,
something.
They drink enough Monster and Corona to then become superheroes.
Dude, even Corona's in it.
I was just gonna say that. I was like, Point Break is Fast and the Furious is Point Break. Let's get it straight. They're like Fast and the Furious is Point Break all the way to the Coronas that were in the film.
It is a reboot.
That whole family bullshit.
It's a reboot of Point Break. Even when he brings him to the party, he's like, yo, come to my party. I'm having a party in my house.
Yeah.
All of it is the same. Even at the end when he's like, Dominic, this is getting too serious. They're going to get you killed.
Yeah.
He's like, Yeah.
That's so crazy.
Exactly the same movie.
Wow.
Except they don't play football.
They don't play any sports. I don't think they play any sports.
No, how he gets Dom to trust him is in a chasing scene.
Yeah.
Where they go through people's houses and there's dogs.
What the fuck?
I'm telling you, they thought there's nothing original about Fast and Furious.
Damn, the only original thing is that there's like 8 or 9 of them now.
Oh man, I love Fast and the Furious though.
I got it. I mean, I
Maybe
literally,
that's why I love it because like the plot story starts like
yeah,
Point Break.
yeah, yeah, probably.
You know?
It's so weird. That's so weird. It's so weird. I'm blown. I mean, I can't even believe it.
I love it.
It
We're
also has
definitely
that like,
testing.
yeah, it also has that Silence in the Lambs beginning of like the FBI, where like Jodie Foster is training and then all of a sudden assigned to something or
Yes,
whatever. It's like,
the rookie FBI agents get
yeah,
like the biggest cases
the biggest
around.
cases. Yeah, and they shouldn't because they are the worst.
I mean, Johnny Utah should have been in trials for like 5 years
Oh,
after
are you
like
kidding me?
answering to all the things that he did.
He got his partner killed.
Yeah, like what were you doing when the Lincoln pulled up? Like, oh, I was getting 2 sandwiches.
I was getting two meatball heroes, and a tuna fish, and a lemonade.
He
Oh,
wanted two sandwiches.
well, what was your partner doing? I think he was at that point reading Far Side or Doonesbury. Who reads Doonesbury?
You were popping pimples on your stupid face.
Oh, Manny, Manny, Manny,
Young,
Manny.
dumb, and full of cum.
This movie. So okay. Whew.
All right,
So
let's put it to the test.
I'm gonna go first. I think
Go ahead.
I'm totally. I love this movie. I love Point Break. I think Point Break is an amazing film. One, some of the greatest one-liners of any movie I've seen. Right. Two, Patrick Swayze is quite possibly one of the greatest villain or anti-heroes in an action film. The other thing is I love that you said what you said in the beginning too. This is a strict action film. There isn't really any sort of comedy. Unlike like Lethal Weapon where you have, weird comedy from Mel Gibson, you have the weird comedy, duo between, Danny Glover and Mel Gibson, that like kind of like odd couple. Even though this is an odd couple, they're really not. It's just an age thing. And there's nothing really that funny. And it is done in such a way, it's like an epic film at the same time. So for me, I think, yeah, they kind of, Point Break does have its issues. The soundtrack's not good. At some points, you're just like, what? I can't believe like this is a long movie. But I think if I wasn't watching it in a hurry at the same time, we were trying to get this done, right? I mean, we both literally watched this, finished it almost like 25 minutes or so before we even started like recording. I think if I'm able to sit into it, I would have enjoyed it even more, even though I did enjoy it. So for me, personally, I believe I'm going to say Point Break passes the nostalgia test, and I think it's still a good action film. I would recommend people watching Point Break. I think it's also one of Keanu Reeves' best parts. I think Keanu Reeves is at his top of his game in this, in some ways in his '90s game, because I think there's many different eras of Keanu Reeves where you got your '90s Keanu Reeves that's like post Bill and Ted, and then you have Matrix Keanu Reeves, and now we have John Wick Keanu Reeves, where all different types of Keanu Reeves, but he's Keanu Reeves, and he's I really love him, and I think Lori Petty was so good in this film. She was amazing. Right after this, she went on to kill it in A League of Their Own, and so I'm gonna say that Point Break passes the nostalgia test for me.
Um, I'm gonna have to agree. I think that this is a movie that definitely got. I would say probably one of the top movies that got me thinking about surfing. I take quotes from this movie a lot. Vaya con Dios is said a lot. Yeah, even though we made fun of a lot of it, I
Yeah.
think, I mean, it's 90s movies. You're going to make fun of it.
Oh yeah.
It's just funny to see how things have evolved, how different things are going. But this movie's good, man. I thought I wasn't going to like it as much as I did.
Yeah.
I think I would have made fun of it more if it was a comedy. But this was good. It didn't laugh at itself. It took itself serious, and
Yeah.
it did a good job at taking itself serious. I agree. It was a big Keanu role. You
He
know,
was huge.
it was the perfect Keanu. Like, you're gonna act like a little dumb. You're gonna kind of be like yourself, and then you're gonna act like the guy who's gonna be you, but like a little bit more Californian. Like when he changes his bra, it's just amazing. Like when he acts like, "Bro, I almost saved your life, bro." I'm like, what is that? I mean, amazing. Yeah, I would definitely suggest this for people. Like, hey, if you want to talk about
Right.
90s action film, especially sports action film, with people, two guys that weren't like huge Sylvester Stallone, Arnold Schwarzenegger muscle action guys. They were like, you know, yeah, Patrick Swayze had his shirt off when he's doing karate, but he wasn't like this like major big guy. This was like average dudes, two dudes, killed it. They both killed their role. I think Swayze was one of the best roles for him.
Amazing.
Best role to watch. I definitely want to watch it again. I definitely think it's nostalgic / still good. And nobody should fucking try to remake this movie.
No.
Because they already did twice. Fast and the Furious, and then the new Point Break.
Yeah, I know.
If you're going to watch any remake, watch Fast and the Furious.
Yeah, if you're going to watch like a movie that's going to be Point Break like, I think, yeah, Fast and the Furious, because there's not a lot of comedy in that either. There's no like real hilarious things until The Rock becomes like The Rock goes into there with like Ludacris, and then there's some like and Tyrese, and once you have like more back and forth and banter than the Fast and the Furious series, I think it's funnier. But I think the series,
well, at this point, I think Fast and the Furious is definitely like laughing at itself sometimes.
Yeah, where like this is not. I think you're right. Point Break never laughed at itself. Point Break was taking itself seriously. And I think I give all the credit to the director, Catherine Bigelow, who this was such a masterpiece, like the way she directed it. I think she did such a great job. You need someone with a good vision for this type of film to get this film through to the end. And to think about how this film is 2 hours long, I feel like only someone with that type of ability to have a good vision for the film would have made a 2 hour film, have all the substance that it did. I feel like people might have been like, it's too long, let's cut it and make it an hour and a half insane-a-thon. That they could have done that, but I think it would have sucked. I think you need the relationship building between Johnny Utah and Bodi. You need the time. You need that time to kind of see it. So like where you as the audience are getting confused about whether or not you're like, well, is Bodi bad or not? Like, I don't know. And then the ending hits you much differently. You know what I mean?
Dude, you definitely need the whole length because you need to also realize that he really does love her. Because or else why does he care about not killing Bodi?
Yeah. Right.
Good movie, man.
I love Point Break. Everyone, go watch Point Break. If you have never seen Point Break, watch it. If you've seen Point Break, watch it again.
If you've never seen Point Break, I hope you didn't listen to this episode all the way through.
Whoops. But watch it anyway. I mean,
we're just going to warn everybody who's ever listened to our episodes. We're going to spoil the movie.
First of all, this movie came out in 91. Okay, it's 2020. If you're like, oh, they spoiled Point Break for me, people.
Yeah, I guess there is no spoilers in that. I mean,
Point Break is an amazing
like
film.
Sixth Sense.
Yeah, like the Sixth
Like
Sense.
Who doesn't know that Sixth Sense?
Yeah, or like The Usual Suspects.
Oh, Usual Suspects. Such a good movie.
Oh. But
can you watch that the same now?
I haven't seen it in a very long time.
Yeah.
Well, people, thanks for listening to another episode of the Nostalgia Test podcast. Tell us what you think about Point Break. I'd love to know. Thumbs up, thumbs down. I think it's a great movie. Manny?
Last word.
Any last
word? Bio con Dios. Hot shot.
There you go. Bio con Dios, everybody. Have a good day. We'll see you in the next episode. Thanks for listening to today's episode. Please subscribe to the Nostalgia Test podcast to know when new episodes drop. Don't forget to leave us 5 stars and a positive review so more people can find the podcast. Share your thoughts and memories on today's topic on our Twitter @NostalgiaTest and on Instagram @TheNostalgiaTest. Tune in next time because you never know what pop culture will pop up on The Nostalgia Test.